If you're watching this, then congratulations! You have officially made it to the 7th and final video of my DigSoc 202 Exchange Advice series. This week's video isn't actually going to be advice, it's going to be my self-reflection and my story behind why I did the series in the first place and kind of my creative process that went into it, problems I've faced, things I would have done differently. This is also going to double up as my reflective essay for the assessment in video form. I went on exchange myself from September last year to February of this year, and I went to the UK. Before I went over, I started making a lot of exchange vlogs, and I had an exchange blog, Red Boots Abroad, in case you wanted to check it out. What I decided to do when this DigSoc 202 assignment came up was to reinvent or rebrand my original exchange vlog. So I came up with the exchange advice series idea, and I made a 7-part video series. The reason that I did it mainly was because I know that if somebody had done that and I found it on YouTube, it probably would have helped me more in the application process than, say, a bunch of documents from UOW. The social utility of my project was to help people who are going on exchange or are going overseas to travel or going overseas to work as an expat, which is what I'm actually doing now. People are always going to have questions that you can't ask a professional or administrative assistant. What I wanted to do was kind of put a fun little take on the exchange process by actually answering the questions that real life uni students would have, and not just a bunch of administrative knowledge that treats you like another number on a piece of paper. All my videos are improvised. The reason I did that, and the reason that my videos are all 10 minutes long, I want this to be conversational, and I want you to be able to watch my face every week and you actually know about my personality and my experiences. Because I was coming into this with a YouTube channel that was already 2 years old, and I already had a lot of experience with video editing, and I had all the equipment and stuff like that to film, I didn't do any research on actual video editing techniques or how to understand YouTube interfaces, but what I did do research on is how to find a niche audience, because the audience that I was trying to target is quite niche in the travel marketing community on YouTube. One of them was strategies for new travel vloggers starting out on YouTube, which basically talked about how to market yourself in your videos and how to design your thumbnails and your YouTube interface and your header and stuff like that, but also bring your own personality and niche knowledge into the travel market. In other articles I read, such as finding a niche for your YouTube channel, I realized that the problem I had with my YouTube channel was that because it had already been running for 2 years and had such a variety of content, I couldn't really rebrand it entirely just for this exchange advice series. I read another article called Video Practices in Travel Marketing, which talked about what are the hottest topics to talk about for travelers and what do people actually want to know. What I tried to do was find a balance between the personal side of my exchange experience and my travel experiences and the more general tips and hacks and stuff like that to do with traveling and going overseas in general. When it came to theoretical research, I did a lot of research based on the lecture topics of the long tail effect and the attention economy, because one of the major issues that I've faced is that I may have been producing content regularly and that content may have been decent quality, but very few people were actually watching it. And what I realized was I needed to have some kind of networking connection to promote my content out to the people who I actually had as my target audience. What I did was approach the UOW Global Mobility Program, and basically what they're going to do is share my content on their social media pages after the series has been completed and they agree with everything that's put in it. My social utility didn't really work if I didn't have my target audience watching my actual videos. One of the articles that I read was about audience as a commodification of the internet, where content isn't worth anything if you don't have the audience to go with it. The only way that you can get audiences to come to your channel without any monetary benefit is to make good content, and that's what I've been trying to do. Every week I've been trying to make my videos more entertaining, more relatable, more creatively edited. I obviously promoted them on my personal social media platforms on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I'm also going to be promoting them through UOW, so that has brought in a lot of viewers, especially people in my DigSoc 202 classes or people on the UOW hashtag. Next thing I'm going to talk about are the strengths and weaknesses that I found throughout my filming and editing and traction more than anything. So obviously the two two main strengths that I had were my personal experience of going overseas on exchange and having all of the first-hand knowledge to talk about. It was an authentic relationship with my audience, and they didn't feel like I was just lying to them or reading off some website of some third party. And the other strength that I had was that I was already a pre-existing YouTuber, so I knew all about how to use video editing programs, how to use DSLRs to film. I had a tripod and a DSLR and a microphone and lighting of my own, which unfortunately I did have to sell halfway through the process, which was a major roadblock for me, but I have worked around it, and I would like to think that the quality of my videos through their actual spoken content would outweigh the fact that they're now on terrible iPhone 6 quality camera. Now, the weaknesses that I found were obviously, first of all, my audience reach. The way that I work to gain more of an audience reach and to kind of defeat the long tail is to network with other people who had more social media presence, for example the UOW Global Mobility page. Another weakness that I faced was trying to find a balance between satisfying my existing subscribers from my old YouTube channel with its old content and trying to bring new people into the YouTube channel who would just come for the Exchange Advice series. What I did try to do was create thumbnails that would aesthetically attract people who are interested in exchange information if it were to come up on a sidebar recommendation for another video. Another weakness that I had was video scheduling. I feel like I overcommitted myself a bit with the amount of videos that I plan to do, especially because they are all 10 minutes each. It was a very scattered process of me posting videos. If I did the project over again, I would definitely have a more strict video editing and video uploading schedule to have a sustainable audience who had a reliable source of content that they knew would be coming out on a scheduled weekly basis. In terms of critically reflecting upon the social utility that I think the finished product has, originally what I made this video series for was a way for me to finish my self-reflection and get closure on my own exchange experience. Every roadblock or problem that I faced, or every exciting new perspective that I encountered overseas, I wanted to capture in an authentic and personalized way on camera, talking to people. The social utility itself, I would say right now, is not completely fulfilled because I haven't reached that niche target audience as much as I would have liked to, which will come as I network my content as a finished product. The social utility itself, I would say, is a high value as a concept, but in actual execution, it still has a way to go. I probably would have had a better scheduling plan. I would have come up with a better alternative for decent quality videos without my DSLR involved. I would try to gain a more diverse audience reach from the start by promoting it not just on personal social media platforms, but on commercial and university-based platforms. The fact that I left my networking attempts to later in the project, I think, has let me down in the fact that I haven't gotten as high of a viewership as I would have liked to. I hope my viewers got a personal experience out of my videos that they can then reflect upon and relate to for their own exchange or travel experiences. I hope it fulfilled the hole in the YouTube market about exchange, because people don't have to just go to their exchange offices anymore at their unis. They can just hop online and search my videos up, and they'll be able to get a more detailed first-person experience from the bite-sized format of a YouTube video. If you told me a year and a half ago that I'd be going to England for the second time in a year to live and work over there, I wouldn't have believed you. And that just goes to show that if you put in the effort that is required and you believe in yourself, then I just think anything's possible, and your exchange experience could be the best thing that you ever do in your life. Whether you're an exchangee yourself or just a regular viewer, I hope you have enjoyed my exchange advice series thoroughly. This isn't the last you'll see of me. I'm sure I'll be back on my YouTube channel with some regular videos sometime. Until then, I would like to thank everybody in DigSoc 202 for putting up with my face for the last 8 weeks. And as always, if you would like to see more of my face, make sure you click like and hit subscribe. For the final time, I'll see you when I see you. Bye!